The following story is fictional and does not depict any actual person or event. But that will become apparent pretty quickly, as nobody in this film behaves in any way like an actual person would. Also, the acting in this is appalling, and the casting is dire. I was really looking forward to watching this, but it was a massive disappointment. It's one of the worst Lifetime movies I've ever seen, and oh, have I seen some...
You on the pipe?
No, but this made me wish I was. From 2023, this is Handyman From Hell. I'm Jay Harangue and I've wasted hours of my life watching terrible films.
You should subscribe.
Right, let's not mess about. This is shit. We start with the girl from Full House with the massive tits on the phone to her friend. She's telling her how she's just about to meet this guy Nate, who she's been seeing for 2 weeks. Nate is a handyman and Full House has already decided to leave her husband for him. Regular viewers of this channel will hear handyman and be picturing someone like Elliot from Infidelity in Suburbia.
Yes.
Sorry, this is Nate.
Oh.
When Full House arrives at this stock footage industrial estate, he's polishing whatever this thing is. He's like, "Did you get that information I asked for?" And she's like, "Yeah." So she's dead. At an unspecified time later, we meet Maggie. She's the main character.
Hi.
In a ludicrous exposition dump, we find out the following. 1. Maggie recently caught her husband David cheating on her, and now they're separated. 2. Maggie and her brother Michael have taken over their late father's architecture firm. 3. Michael's girlfriend Harriet used to be Maggie's best friend. And 4. Maggie's house is an old church, and it needs a new kitchen. Michael has drawn up some plans for the new kitchen, but who's going to do the work?
Is there anybody local that can even handle something like this?
Michael's like, "Don't know." So Maggie's going to find a contractor on this app called Planet. When Michael and Harriet leave, Maggie cries because she's lonely without David. The next day...
David, what are you doing here?
Something I've got to tell you. I am never, ever coming back to you.
Oh, that was just a dream. The next evening, Maggie's looking for a contractor on Planet, and this involves her having video calls with a load of them. All the ones she speaks to are awful, and this scene that I think is supposed to be funny goes on and on and on. So none of them are suitable. And oh no, Harriet's let Maggie's cat out. Oh, it's okay, Nate's got it.
Wait, are you Patrick?
No.
I have an appointment with a contractor. I saw your truck. I just figured.
Patrick is tied up in the back of Nate's van.
I'm Nate.
Nate's like, "I fit kitchens. I'll give you a quote if you want." And Maggie's like, "Okay." When he goes to get his stuff from his truck, Harriet's like, "Wow, Maggie, he's hot." Maggie's like, "What's the deal with his nose? He looks like he's been hit in the face with a frying pan." Harriet's like, "Yeah, it can't be easy going through life with a nose like that."
I mean, maybe he doesn't have a sense of smell.
But despite him having what looks like an owl's beak, Maggie's still keen. The other weird thing about Nate is how he just stares at Maggie without talking. It's seriously creepy.
What?
But Maggie hires Nate anyway, and then they bang. Oh, okay, that last bit was another dream. Time to get up and do yoga in the office.
Yoga?
Yeah. Then Michael walks in and he's like, "Maggie, what's your new contractor's name?"
It's Nate.
Nate what?
Nate, I'll find out this afternoon.
Is he hot?
Oh, super hot.
It's not true.
Michael's like, "Find out his last name, please. We don't want him turning out to be some sort of psycho." Meanwhile, Nate has arrived at Maggie's to start work. She's left the key for him under the mat. He pairs her laptop with his phone so he can monitor her at all times, then goes snooping around upstairs. And sorry to disappoint, but there's no sniffing pants or knocking one out in this one.
What?
When he gets to her office, he sees an article about an art centre that Maggie and Michael's company built that opened on time, despite setbacks.
Setbacks?
Ooh, he doesn't like that. Wonder what that's all about. Nate then sees on his phone that Maggie's on her way home, so he gets to work. When Maggie walks in, she's pretty excited to see Nate hard at work.
Hey.
Hey.
Yeah, it's good to not come across too keen. Maggie's like, "Do you want some lunch?" And he's like, "Yeah, okay."
Oh my God, are you okay?
I'm fine. It's not that bad.
They go inside and she puts a new dressing on it while he stares at her again. so weird. Anyway, over lunch, Maggie bores Nate with work stories, and again with the staring.
Please say something.
It's okay, Michael has walked in.
I'm Nate. You must be Michael.
Must I?
Yes.
Seriously, every conversation in this film is awkward and weird.
Maggie never got your last name.
Brothers.
It's brothers. Satisfied? Happy?
Right, Nate's brothers. That just sounds like utter bollocks.
Yep.
When Maggie and Michael go to work, we find out what Nate's deal is. Remember the setbacks mentioned in the article framed in Maggie's office?
Setbacks?
Well, one of those setbacks was the death of Nate's brother Norm. So Nate blames Michael and Maggie, among others, for his brother's death.
I see.
That night, Michael's been Googling Nate's brothers and finds nothing.
What?
Meanwhile, Maggie comes home, dressed for bed with dinner for Nate, and then they bang. Oh no, that was a dream too. This is shit. When Maggie gets up, she sees blood on the floor in her closet and ignores it. Later, Nate is talking to his dead brother Norm. He tells the audience, I mean Norm, that Michael has artwork in his safe worth millions of dollars. I suppose that explains what Harriet's doing with him.
Yes, of course. Now things are beginning to make sense.
Nate also tells Norm that he's decided not to kill Maggie because he genuinely likes her.
I have to be with her.
Over at Maggie's house, it's game night and David shows up.
Hi.
There are 3 teams playing Pictionary: Michael and Harriet, David and Maggie, and this gay couple. They're non-speaking extras, but more on them later. Michael makes rude comments about how David cheated on Maggie, so Maggie asks to speak to Michael upstairs.
You're being a real jerk, you know?
Well, I used to hang there. Clearly there's something missing.
If you remember, it was a framed newspaper article about how the art centre they built was opening on time, despite setbacks. One of those setbacks being Nate's brother Norm dying on the building site. Bearing that in mind, is that really something you'd want to hang up in your office? Probably not, but whatever, this is shit. Anyway, Maggie's like, stop being rude to David, and Michael's like, okay. So they go back downstairs. And as today is Michael's birthday, the others have surprised him with a cake, and Maggie's bought him a gift. It's some sort of fitness watch, and it's discussed ad nauseum. The only good thing about this conversation is that for some reason they've left this non-speaking extra in the frame every time Maggie speaks, and he clearly has no idea what to do with himself. Does he smile? Where does he look? Anyway, when everyone leaves, David stays to help Maggie with the dishes, even though nobody was eating. David tells Maggie he wants to get back together, and she's like, I'm not sure, let me go upstairs and think. While she's upstairs, David hears a noise. So Nate bundles David into his truck. When Maggie comes downstairs, she thinks David's just walked out, so she cries. Oh, it's okay, Nate's here. He's like, I just came to get this saw thing and saw some guy running off. So she takes him upstairs and then they bang. After they finish, Nate shows her how to use this electric saw thing. And he's like, right, now I've shown you my job, you can take me to your office. She's like, it's the middle of the night, Nate. And he's like, I don't care. So here they are. She's like, why don't we have a look at Michael's multi-million-dollar art collection in the safe?
What?
Yeah, so that's happening. He's like, have you got anything in here about that art centre? She's like, no, Michael wouldn't want anything like that in here. Yet she's okay with a constant reminder of it hanging up in her office. Anyway, when he gets back to his warehouse, Nate starts telling the audience, I mean his dead brother, about his plan again. He's going to deal with Michael, who he blames for what happened to Norm, steal all his paintings, then live happily ever after with Maggie.
Really?
Well, he's already got Michael tied up in the back of his van with David. David is already dead, but Nate wants Michael to be buried alive, because that's how his brother Norm died. Maggie has finally started putting 2 and 2 together and goes on Lifetime search engine Inquiry to search for information about the art centre, and discovers to her horror that Nate is the brother of one of the victims. When Norm died, Nate tried to sue the company, but the court decided they weren't liable. So when Nate was interviewed on News Now Pittsburgh, he sent a message to all those he held responsible.
There is no punishment, and you will pay!
Okay.
I love how they've green screened the courthouse in. Would it really be that much effort to film that interview outside a real one? Probably not, but this is shit. Anyway, Maggie sees that loads of the other people who Nate blamed have already died under suspicious circumstances. I assume Full House's husband was one of those. And oh no, Nate's here.
Don't come any closer to
The amount of times I've heard that.
Excuse me?
That should be number of times, but moving on. Maggie uses that saw thing to cut Nate's arm and runs away, but oh no, she falls over. That fall somehow knocked her out.
Right.
And she wakes up in a chair with Nate pointing his nail gun at her.
If you move a centimeter in either direction, I'm gonna nail you to the wall.
Then he starts telling her why he's doing all this. Why? No idea. She's already worked it out, and he's already told the audience 3 times. And oh no, he's about to shoot her.
Good night, princess.
Oh good, it's Michael. Oh, never mind, she's rubbish. But this has given Maggie a chance to run away. But oh no, Nate's following her.
Let me give you...
Max, there's no coming back from that. We'll call the cops.
She's like, okay, I'll just drop the weapon right here next to Nate, who's still alive.
Oh, come on.
Should've listened to your brother!
But the police show up and Nate is arrested.
Good.
Harriet called the police. Why? Because she saw their heart rates increase on that fitness app and knew they were in trouble. Yeah, I'm not making this up. That's actually what happens.
Okay, then.
At an unspecified time later, we see that Maggie and Michael are back to work, and Maggie gets a gift in the post. Oh, that's nice. And that's the end of the film. So until next time. Thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe. And please consider joining my Patreon. There's a link in the description. Thank you.